Let's transition to the defending champion Lakers. Dennis Schroder is listed as probable for tonight's game against the Blazers. He's missed the last 4 games after being placed in the NBA's COVID-19 health and safety protocols. Lakers lost all 4 games they didn't play. So, Perk, what changes with Schroder back in the lineup for the Lakers?
Oh, everything changes. Let me tell you something, George. The Lakers need Dennis Schroder like old people need soft shoes with orthotics in it, okay? We already know what he provides on the offensive end. Another facilitator, a guy that can create for others and can create for himself. But when on the defensive side of things, have you noticed since Dennis Schroder has been out that the Lakers defense has taken a step back because he brings a tenacity to that team. He plays an old school game. He's a pest. He's still one of the few guys that picks up 94 feet. And when you're on that back line, especially a guy like myself that was a center, when you used to see your point guard picking up full court and pressing guys, that brought the energy into you and made you want to get into guys and put life into you on the defensive end. So the Lakers getting Dennis Schroder back is everything. RJ, you can fix your face like you want, but you know I'm preaching the gospel right now, and it's just real, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, so look, Perk is 100% right. Look, when both him and Anthony Davis went out, you lost the front line of your defense, a guy that, like Perk said, picks up 94 feet. And he's not like this shutdown stopper, but he puts pressure on teams from the beginning. From the minute you inbound the ball, he puts the pressure on you. And then you lose the guy that's the back line of your defense, blocking shots. The Lakers were a top 3 defensive team, and then these 2 guys went out. And low-key, their defense and their offense kind of went to shambles because both of these guys are great. Or Anthony Davis is great. Schroeder's a very good offensive player. So he is very important to the success of this team. At least the front line of your defense will be back, and these guys can be aggressive. So having him back, all the problems aren't fixed because the Lakers had some glaring problems over this stretch, but it is a step in the right direction.
All right, welcome back. We're almost out of time here for the week, but before we go, let's hit the Celtics, who have lost 3 straight and find themselves tied for 9th in the Eastern Conference at the moment. Perk, you've been critical of your former team. Who do you feel is most to blame for what's going on in Boston right now?
Well, it's Brad Stevens because his lack of accountability. The Celtics have been inconsistent on the offensive end and the defensive end. And when you start to see your role players do things out of body on the offensive end, like Tristan Thompson, who's my brother, I love to death, but catching it at the free throw line and trying to go between his legs and do hesitations to take guys off the dribble, that means that he's not being held accountable and being a star in his role. Watching Daniel Tice walking the three-point shots early in the shot clock is just not going to get it. Watching Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown not put forth the effort defensively and fight like the rest of their teammates, that means that they got to say so and that they're not hearing or not being told what to do or how to do it. So it's on Brad Stevens.
Perk not being told that I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch there. Ultimately, the Boston Celtics, they need to figure this out. I think they will. That's part of the growth for these 2 young stars that they have, these 2 young all-stars. Like, they need to look at within themselves. They need to look at their teammates, and there needs to be a higher level of accountability, not just from the coaching staff on down, because, Perk, you know, coaching staff on down, that's to a level. It's amongst yourselves as players. You have 2 all-stars. You are no longer young in this league. You got your extensions. You got all the points and everything. So raise your accountability. How much are you willing to challenge your teammates if you're those 2 stars?
Well, let me jump in real quick because I disagree with both of you. I think it's Danny Ainge who said that this roster is not good enough, and it's on him. Okay, listen, it's not on Brad Stevens that Kemba's knee is not great and that he hasn't played well. It's also not on Brad Stevens that this team has not been deep. Even last year when they got to the conference finals, that was a criticism.
Wait, really quick. Remember when Michael Jordan said at his Hall of Fame speech, players win championships? He never saw a franchise or organization out there with a sprained ankle or playing with the flu. The 2 players, the 2 stars, need to come together, and they need to hold more of their teammates accountable, including themselves.
But RJ, let me tell you something. Just like you work and cover the Brooklyn Nets, I work and cover the Boston Celtics. I watch every single game, and I'm telling you what my two eyes see on a night-to-night basis. They are not being held accountable. They do whatever the hell they want to do when they want to do it. So when I'm telling you something and it's virtual learning right now, you need to listen.
All right, at the buzzer here, Tim Bontemps tweets the Raptors say 6 members of the coaching staff, including head coach Nick Nurse, will not be on the bench due to COVID protocols and NBA health and safety guidelines. Perk, Kyle Lowry going to have to hold the clipboard tonight or what?
Hey, look, he can finally get his chance to audition so when he retire, they can see what he made of.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.